as we are speaking, there is a abruptly scheduled hearing of the January 6th committee. They are interviewing Cassidy Hutchinson. She is the 25-year-old, basically body person for Mark Meadows. That is the person who is, there, and the right-hand person who is constantly in the room and providing, basically all sorts of, stuff for Mark Meadows. She apparently has recently agreed. She had testified in private. She has recently agreed to test publicly. Unclear why. Maybe it was because she had new lawyers, and maybe there is a concern that there's going to be a lot more liability than had been anticipated before, and you want to cooperate with the committee. I suspect we'll find out more in the future. But she is now testifying right now. Here is a clip from just moments ago, literally about 15 minutes ago, with Lynn Cheney, who I hope has the opportunity to be sitting on the other end of the docket in the future. But for now, good for her. And that Mark Meadows ex-aide. Let's hear some of what the testimony is.
Although Ms. Hutchinson has no detailed knowledge of any planning involving the Proud Boys for January 6th, she did note this.
I recall hearing the word Oath Keeper and hearing the word Proud Boys closer to the planning of the January 6th rally when Mr. Giuliani would be around.
On January 3rd, the Capitol Police issued a special event assessment. The police noted that the Proud Boys and other groups planned to be in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. Although Ms. Hutchinson...
So it seems like a lot of what she's saying is that there was just much more internal executive advanced knowledge of the planned aspects of the event.
Here's how it goes. I mean, it's one thing for Rudy Giuliani to be around the office, of course, but Mark Meadows, she is nowhere that Mark Meadows is not. She is not sent to meetings to represent Mark Meadows. That's not her job. Her job is to trail Mark Meadows to every meeting he goes to. And so if she's in this room when Rudy Giuliani is there and Mark Meadows is there, and Giuliani is the conduit to the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, who clearly had a plan in which they would instigate this assault on the Capitol with the hopes of a soft coup. I mean, with the attack, you could argue, is it a coup? Is it a soft coup? It doesn't matter. And you now have tied the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys to the White House, and not to some ancillary part of the White House, to the chief of staff to the president, who is arguably the most powerful person in the White House aside from the president. I mean, I don't know what much more there is. And I think, I don't know if they'll ever get to this end. Maybe they will. And they are certainly interviewing, and there's some places you have Proud Boys being prosecuted. But the Proud Boys' understanding of what was going down and what it would lead to becomes far more important when you understand that people are talking about what the Proud Boys are going to do on January 6th in the White House to the chief of staff. You could say this is Keystone Cops, but nevertheless, what they were planning to do is what they were planning to do. Now, I also think it would be wrong to say it's only Keystone Cops, because this overall plan, you can see there were actually sort of like multiple layers and stages of this plan, and they did not all necessarily rely on each other. It's more like we have plan A, This is how we shift into plan B. This is how we shift into plan C. Plan B or C, which is the storming of the Capitol, does not need to take place if plan A, well, I guess really, I mean, I would go backwards. I mean, like plan A is the DOJ, is Trump leaning on the DOJ to find election fraud that would convince the states to provide different electors. Plan B was just provide different electors, fraudulent ones, and convince Mike Pence. That didn't work, so they go to the insurrection to buy time to convince Mike Pence again. And it starts in the White House. I mean, it is what it is, folks. People could say, like, oh, they're old boomers or whatever. I mean, we saw how violent it was. Saw that that cop who died the next day clearly dies of a stroke because of being like bear sprayed in the face. To pretend like there's no connection there is just absurd.